Now that we have executed the project, the work has begun. We need to now start tracking many things on the project. Okay, and that's the part of the monitoring and controlling process group. We want to control the project. We don't want to let it loose so that we lose on the money, on the durations, or get impacted on the reputation, right? So we want to monitor and control the entire project. It's not talking about like a micromanagement, but we need to monitor and we need to check many important things on the project. Okay, let's try to understand how does project manager need to manage a project. Okay, let's get started off. Okay, so again, let's look into the process group thing. So in monitoring and controlling, you see here, there's the overlap between the initiating till the end of the project. So with more overlap in the executing and monitoring controlling process group. So here we see that the moment we do something, we have to go off monitor and control it. For example, let's say today morning you built a piece of code in the first half of the day, and now you are giving it to the QA to test it. Okay, now you're actually validating the code. Okay, so you're like, controlling, you're doing checking the interim deliverables, you're doing the validations from the QA, or you're doing control quality is happening, right? So it happens on the same day. So there's overlap of things is happening on the same day, right? So executing is done, build is done. Now you want to control, and then you want to gather data and see, okay, how was this? Is this fine? Or there's a lot of defects coming in. Then you prepare the work performance reports from the information, and then take some action on that. Okay, so that's about this process, how the things are overlap. I want to show, right? So it can happen on the same day. Both executing and monitoring can happen on the same day. It doesn't need to be in a very waterfall manner. It can happen in an agile manner also on the same day. Okay, then the closing process group, right? Now, what are we doing here? Monitoring, controlling. We are measuring the time. We are measuring the cost. We're measuring the efforts, right? We are measuring the burn rates. We are looking into the revenue recognition. Okay, so we're measuring all these things. We're measuring against what? Against the baselines. What we had planned initially, we are planning. We are measuring the work against that. Okay, then we want to analyze the data, whatever we are capturing, right? Based on the burn down charts or the velocity or the number of defects. We want to get all this data, which is the gathered data work from in the executing process, which happens to be an info work performance information to the monitoring control process group. You will gather this data and information, then analyze this, and then prepare reports and tell management where we need help, where we don't need help, where are the issues, where do you foresee a risk, right? So we want to analyze this data in the monitoring and controlling process group. Then we want to control time, cost, and scope to the baselines. Okay, then when we are analyzing this, we look for variances. Okay, I had planned this particular activity for like 5 days, it's taking like 7 days, so there's variance of 2 days. Now what is my plan? Should I have to crash something? Should I need to kind of do some resource leveling, or do I have to do some fast tracking to make this up, or should I use a contingency reserve? So we start looking for variances, planned versus actuals, right? Are there any variances? If there are any variances, then we have to address them. Okay, so the different ways of addressing the variance. We'll talk about under budget, over budget, or under schedule, we are behind the schedule, or ahead of the schedule. We look into all of those things based on the earned value management, but look for variances. Okay, so earned value management. Earned value management is the amount of effort you have put in. What is the value of earned on the scope, right? So what the effort advantage is like good. We are on track. We did $100 of work. We put $100 and we got in return $100 of work. So we are still happy with that, right? That's good. Okay, now we track things like SPI, schedule performance index. Okay, schedule performance index is the ratio of earned value to planned value. Planned value is the uh, dollar value of the work for schedule. Okay, so like for example, I plan to do something in 3 days and I do it in 3 days for $100 per day. So the planned value was like $300 for 3 days. So that's the in terms of dollars, right? So for 3 days I did a work of $300. That's in terms of schedule. I'm going to take that as the planned value. Okay, and earned value is again the $300. I've earned work for $300. That's the earned value. So you want to convert schedule into a dollar, so you use plan value. For converting the cost, it's actual cost. Okay, so that's easy for us. So the cost performance index. Okay, then now we want to check now how is this index, how's the index doing? Is the schedule performance index greater than 1? Then we are happy. If the EV by PV ratio is more than 1, means we are ahead of the schedule. I plan to do something in 3 days, but I've already done it in like say 1.5 day. I still have 1.5 day left. So that's like ahead of the schedule. Then what is SPI less than 1? Schedule performance index less than 1 means I plan to do something in 3 days but it's taking 4 days, right? So I'm actually behind the schedule. Okay, ratios less than 1 is behind and not good. Ratios more than 1 is ahead and is always good. Okay, then you've got cost variance. Cost variance is the value of the earned value minus the actual cost. A positive cost variance is always good, negative is bad. Similarly, for schedule performance index, positive is good, negative is bad. Again, you put the same example, put the values and get this cost variance. Cost performance index, again, it's a ratio of earned value to the actual cost. Again, for a cost performance index of greater than 1, you're under budget, means you've got more money. Okay, for cost performance index less than 1, your money is over and you're like over budget. You need more money now to do things. Okay, remember these things very important in planning the project, to take good decisions for a PMP examination, right? For interviews you might get questions on this. So that's about it. Okay, then now based on the analysis of this data, based on these variances, based on these indexes, now what should you do? Okay, as a project manager, what you should take some corrective actions. Now, what is the threshold you have said that when is that I will go and fetch my contingent reserve or my management reserve? When my SPI is it less than 3, less than zero point 0.7? Ideally, the standards are if it goes less than 0.7, then you have to go and use management reserves, or you have to replan the entire project because the baselines will get impacted, because 30% margin on the work is what you expect, but now you are actually behind by 30% of the work, so you'll have to go and take some action. Okay, so corrective actions based on these numbers: SPI number, CPI number, cost variance number, or scheduled variance numbers. Take this corrective actions. Okay, now look for trends. So what is the trend you're looking for? Like okay, you're looking for a lot of trend on the resource performance, or looking trends on the quality of the work. Right, so those things, start looking for trends in the monitoring control process group. Okay, now let's say this change calls for a big change, right? There is a change to the baseline now. Then you have to perform integrated change control. You have to raise a change request. Okay, when the baselines of the project are impacted, when the CPI and SPI is less than 0.7, 100% sure you have to go and kind of raise a new change request and get add on money or add on time from the customer. Okay, means you're on the back foot. Okay, then approve these changes. Oh no, once you can implement only the approved changes. If something is not approved, you cannot implement it. Okay, then update the project management. So what else you can do? You can update the project management documents, the project management plans, because you're making changes, some corrective actions, so that the calls an update into these documents. Inform stakeholders of this change. So let's say there's a big change you need to do. You have to, like for example, we're doing one project where you're going to get access for at least 3 to 4 weeks. It's a fixed price project. So then the team was just sitting idle. So we had to tell customer, you are supposed to pay us more money for 4 more weeks in order to get the project done, because you guys didn't give us the access immediately, right? So you have to inform stakeholders about this. Okay, the right stakeholders. Then monitor stakeholder engagement. See how the stakeholders are engaging with your monitoring controlling process, right? Who's interested? Who's kind of having the power? Who is just being supportive? Who's silent, right? You have to monitor stakeholder engagement on the project, because these guys will help you get things done when there is a need. Okay. Confirm configuration version changes. So what is the change in the version code, right? So the new builds are coming in, so you have to know what are the new changes going in. So confirm configuration management changes or versioning or nomenclature. You do this in monitoring control process group. And get approval on the interim deliverables, like the QA sign off, or you can send to UAT, the UAT sign off. It's not production, but you can interim approval sign offs. Okay, so get approval on the interim deliverables. Create forecast. So create forecast on the schedule performance index, cost performance index, estimate to complete, right? Or to complete performance index. Start creating this forecast and monitoring controlling process group. Then very, very important, inspect. You have to regularly inspect the software you're building it. So QA is very important. Have different triage calls. Okay, and then after that you have some demos, right? Then observe and take actions. Okay, so all this is important. Now in agile projects, how do you do it? We kind of have the regular inspections in terms of daily scrums. Every day 15 minutes I'm meeting, asking people what you did yesterday, what you plan to do today, and are there any roadblocks, right? And then you've got sprint demos, where every 15 days you call people and show them the demo of the project, what has been built for the last 15 days, and get the fine sign off from the customer, so that you get faster feedback. That's the empirical way of learning, right? Learning from your own way of doing things. Okay, then conduct retrospectives. Okay, so all these things are important as a part of your monitoring control process group when you're taking feedback. Then improve the quality. So inspections, all this is done. Now we are improving quality. So with the inspections, taking corrective actions. Okay. Now review the risk and and reassess the risk. Okay. So you'll have to look into risk. Now what kind of risk is this? Do you want to kind of mitigate this risk or transfer this risk, or you want to accept this risk, right? Or you want to kind of share this with somebody else? So do all those things on the risk. Or look at the risk register. Then manage the reserves. Now, do you need the reserves? So do you take out the management reserve? You need management reserve. Are you going to talk to leadership and get more money? Is the project in such a bad state that you can't do the help of leadership, right? Then finally you manage, evaluate, and close the procurements. Okay, so you once you do the deal the customer, close the procurement, manage and evaluate the customers based on selection criteria, all those things. So that's about all of the activities you will be doing on monitoring controlling process group under the project management part. Okay, so that's about the this video. In the next video I'll talk to you about closing process group.